Vanny, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
No one is to stone anyone until I blow this whistle.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Lord, you can imagine where it goes from here.
Hey and welcome to Zedos Gang, episode number 52. I'm here with Joe.
Hello, everybody.
And no one else, apparently. Today's show we'll be talking about Expendables 4, Batgirl, Akira, Spider-Man Homecoming, and much more. And yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so as Sach said, we're going to talk about... there's a lot of trailers that hit in the past week or so we're going to talk about some of those. Not much in particularly great detail, more just to say if we liked it or not. But as we usually do, we usually overrun with that, so we're just going to give highlights on whether we liked it or not. Yeah, so we'll start off with War of the Planet of the Apes, and so I'll go first on this one. This to me, it's a good trailer, but it's very similar to an Alien Invasion trailer, in the sense that this is exactly what humans would do if aliens invaded. They tried to survive. And it's the same as apes are taking over the planet, or essentially may take over the planet. It's again what humans do. So it's what I'm saying is that it shows mankind's nature in the sense of what I've got from this trailer. That okay, mankind will do anything to stay alive, as I guess any species would. I say any species, but I haven't been out to the stars, or I don't know. No one's ever really been in this scenario before. So, but yeah, it's a good trailer. I see a lot of the CG work and the motion capture work has jumped from the last film, because these monkeys do look really convincing. The addition of what's his name?
Woody Harrelson.
Yes, Woody Harrelson, fantastic. I love Woody Harrelson and everything. So, and the type of dynamic that he's going with his character is like, hey, we're trying to survive. I know you're trying to do the same, but that's the way it goes. And I like that. I really do like that. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. What do you think?
Yeah, it's another Apes movie. I'll watch it. It didn't really do anything that made me go, oh my god, apes. It was sufficient. It made me want to see the movie any less, anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those films I do want to see, because the last film was sick. But, like, my anticipation isn't really, you know what I mean? Oh my god, I need to see this tomorrow, if that makes sense. I don't know, it has some cool things in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well,
Apes with bow and arrows. That's always cool, huh?
Well, again,
yeah.
my point in this is that as much as it looks good, it feels like familiar territory in the sense that it feels like like Independence Day. A bunch of aliens come down. They want to destroy us, but we got to destroy them first, or get rid of them somehow. And that's what I get from this. It's two warring factions trying to survive.
Yeah. Except the alien spacecraft.
Yeah, except for the alien spacecraft. But in the same sense that one fights with advanced technology, the other fight with sticks and whatever, and bows and arrows.
So kind of like the Ewoks.
You made that comparison.
Sticks and stones.
I'm going from a
Stones.
very primal sense.
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
going with by
You're
that.
getting deep. Okay, sorry.
But yeah, you can make that analogy.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was Planet of the Apes. Next trailer we're gonna have a look at is Valerian, and the first thing I can say about this, it's got a very bright color palette, very big color palette. But from what I know about this is that Luc Besson wanted to do this before Fifth Element, but Fifth Element he borrowed a lot of from Valerian to make Fifth Element, and it shows. I mean, the palette's the same. The world looks very similar to Fifth Element's world. So I don't know this graphic novel, but it's very popular in France. But just the fact that Luc Besson is in this ballpark again, because he, as far as I'm concerned, Fifth Element's so very unique film, which has clearly pulled from this graphic novel, and I'm looking forward to seeing this. Even though the trailer doesn't really give you a basis of what's particularly going on. I get the world now. It's very bright, very vibrant, very interesting, and so if anything, it's going to look really nice. I guess the story, once we get to see the film, we will know more about the story. Sach?
Dan DeHaan, right?
Yeah.
That's the guy's name, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has a very deep voice for a really tiny dude, right? I mean, like, he just looks like a 12-year-old man.
Does he?
Well, look at him. He's like a boy, man. And then he's got this like, hey, I'm. He just looks like, I don't know, man. Look, he's a good actor in Chronicle and stuff. He just has a strange voice for such a little guy. That's what I got.
When you say a little guy, he's nearly 6 foot. I don't see how he's little.
He doesn't look like he's nearly 6 foot. He looks about 12.
Yeah, but his age and his height are two very different things.
Either way, he has a very strange voice. I don't know. I thought he was dubbed. Just saying.
Wow. Okay, fair enough. I didn't expect that to go this way.
I'm sure that's his real voice and he's doing well. I just forgot what he sounded like from the Spider-Man film that came out the other year because that was terrible. But
okay, well, take this for instance. I don't know the what's going on in that particular scene, but the actress, I can't remember the actress's name, but she's a model, and she's not small. She's tall.
Okay.
And so if he's looking down at her, again, I don't know if she's.
Then she's like super short. Then.
No, she's not. She's a model, so she's tall. I don't know where you're getting your basis on him being.
He has a
small.
very deep voice for a lad his age. He just looks short in that trailer. There we go, Cara. I can't pronounce that name.
Delevingne.
There we go. Her too. I don't know, man. I'm not really digging this film at all.
You haven't seen the film. You're not digging the trailer.
Well, I'm not digging the trailer. I'm not digging the movie just yet. The only thing that
you haven't seen the movie, so you can't say that.
Why are you getting so defensive?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm doing what they do in movie talk. No. I'm doing what they do in movie talk. You don't dig the trailer because you haven't seen the film, so you can't say you're not digging the film because you haven't seen the film.
Well, either
you're not digging the premise to the film.
Can I at least finish what I'm trying to say? I know I'm coming from a different vibe to you, please. What I'm trying to say is, okay, I'm not digging it at all. The whole thing. If it didn't have Luc Besson's name, I wouldn't give a fuck. Like literally, I'd just be like, okay, generic kind. They're trying to do like something like sci-fi-y, bright colours. Nothing grabbed me. I found his voice hilarious though. Like I said, that it just didn't sound like it was coming out of him. But that's just me. Maybe I'll watch it and I'll be amazed by the film because it's Luc Besson and he hasn't really done a bad film, in my opinion. So give or take what people think of Lucy, but yeah.
Okay. Next up is A Ghost Story, and this film's even weirder. I'm fascinated by the premise, but the execution is a little bit weird. I'm not. This isn't a spoiler of any kind because it's in the trailer. But Casey Affleck's character in this film, he looks like he's married to. I would like to say Jennifer Connelly. No, that's not Jennifer Connelly. But he's married to someone. He's married to an actress in this film, and he looks like he dies partway through the film, and he becomes a ghost. But the way he depicts the ghost is in a sheet with eye holes, and as comical as that sounds, it's actually kind of haunting in a really weird way. It's clearly already been screened because it's been there's reviews up on through the trailer, so it's done well at a few festivals, it seems, and so I'm intrigued by it because he seems to go through time in that one area where him and his wife lives or lived, and he sees his kids grow up. He sees the house before it was made, and yeah, it looks intriguing, but who knows? It could be the worst film of all time. Satch, what do you think?
I think yeah, it was strange. I think David Lowery, the director, he did Pete's Dragon, by the way, great film.
Never seen it.
I'm assuming this is going to be equally as good as well. Pete's Dragon was actually a really good Disney film. No one saw it. Well, no one saw it. But it was really good. Came out last year. This one just kind of seemed like, hey, how do I save a lot of money? Let's just put him in a cheat and have him do ADR for the whole movie. I don't know. It's more serious tone than what I'm trying to say here. No, it looks intriguing. It just looks freaking weird though, because he's just creeping around like the ghost of Christmas past here.
Well, the thing is, right? People are always screaming for original films.
Yeah.
This is as original as it will get. I mean, it's up to people to go watch these things. Really, if it's not a superhero film or a well-known property, it's very hard to get people to watch films these days. Original films these days.
That's probably why they made him more the shit, right? Ghost Man.
All right. Next film is It, and I don't know about the general audience out there, but the reason why I don't like clowns is because of this film, and well, there was a TV movie back in the 90s that had John Boy in it, and John Boy from the Waltons. Whoever, I don't know, the young listeners won't know what the hell the Waltons is, but I just remember seeing when you see the actual creature, or not the actual creature, but when you see the clown, it stays with you. Anyone that's seen the original, or I mean, the difference between the book and the TV series is that it was more visceral because you could see what the clown looked like. In the book, you could only imagine what the clown looked like. But I mean, the clown's not even the clown. That's what it disguises itself at. That's what it disguises itself as. But anyway, this trailer, it will give you chills, especially if you watch it by yourself or in a dark theater. It would be really, it's really compelling. It's got that element of Stranger Things as well. You've got all the token white dudes with the token black kid. One black guy. Is there one girl in this as well?
I think so.
You have to. It's a bunch of. It looks very 80s as well. I mean, just what it looks like a Spielberg film. To a degree.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm intrigued to see this. Sach, what do you think?
Yeah, looks interesting. I mean, like, it looks more of a thriller than a horror. I don't know whether that was what the original was, because I never saw the original TV show and stuff. All I know is that Tim Curry was Tim Curry the clown in it?
Yeah.
It's okay. Who's the clown in this one? Do we know, or?
I can't remember the actor's name.
Okay. But yeah, it, like you said, it's got that 80s aesthetic, you know, that's synonymous with Steven Spielberg movies of the 80s. So, you know, that's in right now, the whole Stranger Things vibe. Andre Machete, can't pronounce his surname, but he's the director. He did Mama, the horror movie Mama. So, you know, I don't know whether there's any correlation with, like, the style in that movie with this movie, but this trailer does look quite interesting, and it did kind of grab me a lot more than, you know, everything else we've shown so far. But like, yeah, I just like the whole feel of it.
Yeah, yeah, it looks.
It's just it looks like a good, like, children going into the haunted house kind of movie, you know, which is kind of something we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, it had that 80s vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looks it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at that. I just freeze framed it on. We're watching the trailer. I just freeze framed the image from it, and it looks. That's Stranger Things. That's
well, that should be the poster there.
Yeah, it's Stranger Things.
Yeah.
It's E.T. It's what's the other? Goonies. It's got that flavour to it. But yeah, it, if anything, it looks good. It looks classic to me. So can't wait to see that. And the next film we're gonna have a look at. I don't know why I opened that. Why has it done that? Okay. The next film we're looking at is Spider-Man: Homecoming. And I'll let you go first on this one, Serge.
Huh? What? Me?
You're the Spider-Man fan.
Well, you're the one talking all the time. Love, hate this trailer. I love this trailer because it looks freaking awesome. I hate this trailer because I feel like I've seen the whole movie now. Spoilers, don't watch this trailer. Stuff I liked in the trailer, yeah, quite a bit. I mean, like, it's really interesting. I mean, like, the Michael Keaton character as the Vulture, he's playing Toombs in here. And, like they've made, rather than make him like a billionaire like Tony Stark, they've given him a clear motive where he's like, he seems like one of those up and coming kind of like people that have got a tech that he's trying to make or exploit to a certain degree, if you know what I mean. Like, he seems like the kind of guy that would go to the Tony Stark Expo and sell his idea or whatever, if you know what I mean, like one of those like young scientist types or whatever. But I don't know, but it looks like you know, his livelihood depends on this tech, because like Michael Keaton just looks like he's got everything to lose kind of here in this movie, and he's pissed, and he's kind of makes it quite clear to Peter Parker. I'm assuming it's Peter Parker that he's dropping home in the car, like saying, yeah kid, like, I'm gonna fuck you and your family up, man, for getting in my business. So, you know, which I think is kind of dark, you know, because like, he's a kid, you know what I mean? But then I guess he knows he's Spider-Man, so, you know, well, spoilers, so we'll have to see. But I mean, like, he just really comes across menacing. They've made like the dorkiest character in the whole of comic book fandom into like some hard nut that would destroy someone right here, which I think is amazing, really, because like, if you see him in the comics, he just looks fucking dorky. I'm sorry, he's like bald and like feathery, and they were like proper feathers. They weren't like this, you know what I mean? They kind of made him look like the horror movie version of that, you know, especially in the last trailer as well. So, you know, you guys see a lot more of Michael Keaton here, which I like. So, you know, and, you know, I think also, like, I like the whole thing, spoilers again, like, the whole thing about how the suit that he gets from Tony Stark does all of this, like, gadgetry kind of thing that you'd expect from Tony Stark. But you can see how, like, there's the misuse of the power there, because something happens in the movie where, like, obviously he's fucked up, which, you know, and he has to give the suit back to Tony Stark, and then he has to go out and fight, like, in regular gym jams, you know? And I kind of like that, because that's Spider-Man right there, which I haven't seen in a long time. Spider-Man, if you read the comics, he fucks up, he learns, you know what I mean? We've never had that in, like, any of the movies. I think the closest we had was probably the Raimi ones, the original 3, you know? Because they were more like the 60s comics. So I can't wait for this movie. I just hope they haven't spoiled everything in this trailer.
Yeah. Again, to me, I don't think anything's been spoiled. I think this is a wider audience trailer to, hey, I know we've rebooted this thing so many times.
Yeah.
It's more of a, they've showed more Tony Stark.
Well, yeah. They've showed Stark. They've showed Cap America in here. Like, look,
yeah. And I think they want to reassure
people that
a general audience that, hey, look, this is the same universe now.
Yeah.
It's okay to come and watch this film.
Yeah.
Because I still think there's, I mean, after that first reboot and then now another one, it's kind of hard to, I think the audience is kind of lost. So what's going on now? And so this is more of a, it explains to a general audience that this is part of the same universe.
Yeah. As
Captain America and the Avengers, so to speak. So if I was a real big fan of Spider-Man, I would have real big issues with this as a studio trying to sell their film. I see what they're doing with it, and but yeah, I liked the trailer enough. Someone said it's something interesting the other day about this shot here. I think it might have been John Snap. He said that this is just Superman Returns.
Because it's a plane and
yeah. Because the shots are very similar.
Yeah.
And I'm inclined to agree with that.
Well, to be honest, this plane sequence looks a hell of a lot better than the last film's plane sequence, which had nothing to do with the plot. Just saying.
I didn't see the last film, so
trust me, there's a plane sequence that made no sense.
Right.
It was just there. It was like another movie. I was like, where's Spider-Man and Electro? And like this plane was having like problems of some sort.
I see.
And I had no clue. I thought someone had switched the reel in a movie theatre. That's how bad it was. I was like, this is a completely different movie. What's going on?
Well, luckily I didn't see that last film, so...
yeah, it was bad, man. It was terrible.
Okay, and we've got one more trailer to go. Where is it? Okay, this is King Arthur, and this is the Guy Ritchie's King Arthur, and to me, there's other trailers of this film that have come out which has kind of not been on point. The very first trailer to this film was so Guy Ritchie. Even the way it was edited, the fast forwarding, wait a minute. You mean he's doing it had all the hallmarks of a Guy Ritchie film. This one has a mix of the fantasy element and the Guy Ritchie element in it. It gives you more. It's a retelling of the King Arthur story, but it's a retelling in the way Guy Ritchie would retell it, if that makes sense. Guy Ritchie's going to go on to make Aladdin, so the fact that he's getting very good with CG now is using CG elements in his films is pretty good, because there's a lot more CG in this film. There's a lot more CG elements in this film than I expected. But he seems to handle it pretty well. It kind of makes sense. But even the character King Arthur, he's very Guy Ritchie. It's his own spin on it. I think if Guy Ritchie's going to do anything, he's going to put his own spin on it, and this is how this film feels, and it's actually quite refreshing. Because this could have been, it's the last a King Arthur film since last week. In the sense that it looks kind of old. It's got swords in it. It's got some good looking dude as King Arthur, Merlin, yada yada.
Yeah.
But he's thrown everything out of whack here. It's crazy. This film looks insane. So I'm willing to see this because I actually don't know what I'm going to see. It's different, and there's bullet time in it. So yeah, again. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be an interesting film. Sach?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Joe. I mean, like, it's completely different to any other Talented King Arthur that I've seen, but it's got his signature directional style written all over this. With the quick edits and the fast cuts and stuff, and that stuff. All this stuff from all his previous movies like Snatch, Lock, Stock, and stuff is like really involved in here. I really didn't like the last trailer, but then I guess that was maybe the studio wanted to show more of the fantasy element and get the fantasy crowd with that trailer, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But that trailer to me just seemed far too generic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
way too.
Which made me think, I hope that's not what the movie's actually going to be. But this just, this and the very first teaser trailer, they were very, very refreshing in terms of the style and stuff. And I quite want to see it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's I'm not sure when this film comes out, but I know it's a summer film. But yeah, it's one of the most interesting versions of this tale that I've seen in a while. The one that I've really wanted to see is oh wow, this looks interesting. So yeah, more news as it comes out. The first news topic, and it's Sylvester Stallone is stepping away from the Expendables 4 for whatever reason. There's creative differences within the either the script writing or the or maybe budget. I don't know, but he's stepping away from it now. So the question I ask is: it really the Expendables without his character, or just Sylvester Stallone in general?
It's never over! No, yeah, Rambo reference there if you didn't get it, but...
I know, I didn't know.
Okay.
Okay.
It's never over.
That happened.
Yeah, look, it just sounds like they got into a creative spat. He's been his producing partner for quite a while, for over a decade now. So, do you know what I mean? It's just creative differences at this point. He created it. Come on, man. They're not going to do anything without Sylvester Stallone. This franchise isn't dead yet. I'm pretty sure he'll come round if an interesting idea comes to fray. Can it survive without Sylvester Stallone? I actually think it could, to be honest. I actually think it could. I know he's like the leader of the Expendables, but I could think of a way to write Stallone out. Hey, Barney retired. Statham's in charge of the crew because he was always the right hand. Boom, done. Next film. You know what I mean? Like to casuals that don't know anything about behind the scenes and stuff. Oh, Expendables 4, and then you got this guy in there too. They've made it that kind of franchise. You know what I mean? From the get-go. Mm-hmm. He's even in interviews talked about, he could see it without him as he gets older. Mm-hmm. So it's not dead, really. Is there an audience still for this? You know what? I actually don't think a decent Expendable film has been made yet, personally. Like, I love the second one. I love the second one for what it is and stuff. But I remember watching the first one and I thought, it's okay. It wasn't what I thought it could be or would be. The second one was everything I thought it could be, if that makes sense. And the third one was just bollocks. So, do you know what I mean? Like, you've got 1.5 good movies there.
Yeah, well...
So, but that doesn't mean to say that I don't think that they can't make a great Expendables film. Mm-hmm. I think the concept's still a good concept. You've got great actors there that... The problem with the third film and those films is that those characters aren't very robust characters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just them as movie stars. If you know what I mean, which I don't have a problem with. But what I loved about the first film was that the Jason Statham character was some guy, you know, and he had some girlfriend that would bring him up at work. You know what I mean? And I liked that dynamic. I liked the dynamic in the first film between Jet Li's character and Dolph Lundgren's character, that they didn't like each other, that they straight up hated each other for whatever reason. We never really found out, etc. And you never really went deep into those characters in the other movies. And that's something I feel that they should do. If you're going to make a Dirty Dozen against the Mission kind of film, you got to get to know the characters more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think that's what they should do with the next one. They should make us care about the team, so that when, you know what I mean, like any movie, you know what I mean, that's what we need to do. Because when you watch those movies, Sly's the prominent one, and we just know Jason Statham's his right hand man, and you know what I mean. Everyone else can't. Yeah, they get their little digs and there's jokes and stuff because it's these Hollywood icons, but we've got to move past that. You know what I mean? That gimmick. We need to make these characters, flesh them out more. Get the audience to be invested and care about the characters, so that when the action comes and when the shit hits the fan, we get a great movie out of it. You know what I mean? Like, you just need some great writing here. That's what I think's missing from the Expendables franchise. Do they need Stallone back in the Expendables franchise, even though he created it? Not necessarily. I never thought I would say that, but I don't think so. Only because of stuff that he said. You know what I mean? And considering where the franchise is under, like, his reign or whatever, I think the idea is so ripe for a better movie, if that makes sense. And I personally, like I said, the second one was my favourite. You know what I mean? Because it was everything it, you know, the initial concept set out to be. You know? But that's just my 2 cents. I mean, like, a lot of people might disagree with me, but I don't know.
I mean, if I cared about this franchise enough, I probably would care. But I've seen 2 of the films. I didn't see the first one. And the Jean-Claude Van Damme one was interesting. The third one was...
Yeah, it was bad, man.
Yeah.
Bad.
The only good part in it, I would say, was with the bit in the when they capture Mad Max in the van.
Oh yeah. Like, it had some jokes in there. I mean, I liked the dig at Snipes, and I felt Antonio Banderas' character was very interesting.
I forgot he was even in it.
He kind of stole the show. If you watch
he
that,
did.
He did a little bit. That he stole the show there, and I liked Kelsey Grammer's character kind of thing, as the guy that, you know, sets out to hire new talent kind of thing. But I just felt, the third one wasn't good, man. It wasn't good at all.
Yeah, so the most memorable part in that third film was when Mad Max was in the van. There's this whole monologue that he gives to them about the group that he was in before and how he was gonna kill them or something. I can't even remember now. But that in itself was the best part of the film. Everything else is very forgettable.
Yeah.
It almost like a straight to DVD or Netflix movie. It's just whatever, man. But with him leaving it, if that's the case, then I wasn't really interested in a fourth one before. I'm really not interested in it now. So
yeah,
it can go either way. I still won't watch it. So good luck. I don't really have anything positive to say about it, to be honest. Other than that, whatever Stallone does next is what I'm interested in, and so that's that. Right. What was the topic that you wanted to talk about? It wasn't this one. It was what was in that stick? Because there's 2 other topics that you wanted to talk about.
The Mummy trailer.
Yeah, that's I've got no internet, so
okay, so Jeremy Renner out of MI.
Okay. Jeremy Renner. So it looks like Jeremy Renner's character from Mission Impossible that was introduced to Mission Impossible. It was
since Ghost Protocol.
Yeah, Ghost Protocol. He's taking a pass on this one because he's doing something for Ant-Man, which crushes his schedule. So I don't know if I mind, but this guy can't catch a break with the franchises that he chooses. Is either when he was trying to take over the Bourne franchise, that film didn't work for him, and then that made Jason Bourne come back even, and so it doesn't look like there's going to be any crossover between Jason Bourne's character and Jeremy Renner's character, so that's kind of out of the water. And there's Hawkeye, who's doesn't really do much for the group in terms of, as one of the only human people in it. Scarlett Johansson's character is human as well, but I wouldn't say he's the most interesting character in that universe.
He's the pet talk guy, man.
Sure. And then here's his Mission Impossible character, who was starting to get some story, but now, if he's not in the team, it's not like Vig Rhames. Vig Rhames was there from day one.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even in it that much, but he's an integral part of the team. And if there's no Vig Rhames in the Mission Impossible film, it's not Mission Impossible. Even in the one that he technically wasn't in, he was in.
Yeah.
And so it's, to me, if you're either part of Mission Impossible or you're not. So
I don't think it matters. I think, to be quite honest, from a story standpoint, less is more. You know what I mean? Like, you put him in there, well, this guy's not going to bite the dust, or, you know what I mean? You put someone no one knows in there, it's more about the unknown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's probably more interesting from a story point. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean to say that he doesn't come back for a further mission down the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's about, they've rotated the roster before. You know what I mean? They'll do it again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really see a problem. I would like to see them bring back someone from the older roster though. Because I think that'd be like kind of intriguing, like, what have they been doing all this time kind of thing. Obviously no one from number one because they're all dead, but hey, what did that Australian guy from number two be up to now? The helicopter pilot. You don't remember it because you hate the movie so much.
I've only seen it once, and that was when I was watching it at the cinema.
But there wasn't a problem with that character. It was just, he was just an Australian guy. I hear he's a movie director as well, so, like, hey.
What Australian guy are you talking about?
The whole movie was in Australia, so they had an Australian spy with them, and
I don't remember that at all. That film's so bad. I'm not even going to revisit it to see who that was.
Well, anyway, like, I'd just say, anyway.
Yeah.
Or even number 3, bring back, who's in number 3? What's the guy from the Tudors?
Oh, they may bring him back.
Yeah, they could bring him back.
That's what I like about the Mission Impossible films. It's a team effort.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what the second one lost. What the hell is this?
Well, hell, bring Paula Patton back.
Maybe, yeah. She's still part of the IMF, so it's a big possibility.
Yeah.
But
then I guess that's why Henry Cavill got cast.
Yeah, I like the fact that
I think because we don't know who he's playing or what his character is, it brings that kind of dimension to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you have Simon Pegg and him all the time, that wasn't what that franchise was before. And although it's nice to have reoccurring characters, it's nice to shake up the box sometimes, So,
well, you've got who's the I can't remember her name now, but the other woman in it, I've got her name to it. I can't remember her name now, but she was in Rogue Nation.
Oh, the girl from the last one. Oh, is she back?
Yeah, she's in this as well. There are a lot more people in this Mission Impossible than the last one. And so I think it's going to be more of a conventional it'd be more like the first one. Maybe slightly, because I mean, even Christopher McQuarrie was saying that the way that this next film starts is with Ethan Hunt, and there's going to be no
big action
intro. It's going to be, because he was saying that no one knows really who Ethan Hunt is.
Yeah, that's true.
We get little bits and pieces of what he is.
Yeah, no kid wanted to play as Ethan Hunt at school ever.
Well, there you go. But I think he wants to avoid Ethan Hunt being a superhero as well, in the sense that I think he's trying to blur the lines of what not a superhero, but do you know how Jack Bauer is perceived?
Yeah, how Jack Bauer's received, yeah. What?
Never mind. Anyway, Jeremy Renner's not in this this next film, and yeah, that's that. On to the next topic, and that's Batgirl. Joss Whedon is apparently doing a adaptation of Batgirl for DC. Not really too sure about it, to be honest. Considering what's going on with DC at the moment, I think they need to get their stuff in order. And that's all I've got to say about it, really.
I think this is the best news I've heard all week. Joss Whedon is doing a Batgirl movie. And I'm being serious. Like, look, Joss Whedon had a shit time doing Avengers 2, okay? Hasn't done anything since. He's at a point where he can do anything he wants, okay? So he's clearly chosen this, and they've clearly gone and asked him, hey, we hear you're pissed at Marvel, we need something. You know what I mean? And he's probably just went, Batgirl. You know what I mean? You know what? He writes some of the best, like, female protagonists ever. Buffy. You know what I mean? End of. You know what I mean? And he's a great writer. And he's a good director. You know what I mean? And he's a comic book lover. He did Avengers. And Age of Ultron. And Age of Ultron was the result of, like, other tinkering. Look. He made over $2 billion movies here. Alright? Warner Brothers ain't gonna say, yo, you've got to do it like this. You don't do that to someone like Joss Whedon. He's now entered the James Cameron club of directing.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, he has.
No, he hasn't.
You bring in the money boat with fucking Avengers. No one's telling you jack shit what to do anymore.
Sure.
Period.
In that case, there's lots of other directors that are in James Cameron's.
Yes, there are, but I use that as an example in terms of James Cameron did Titanic. It made X amount of money. It means you don't tell me what to do anymore. Alright? And that's where he is. Mm-hmm. Alright? I'm not talking about James Cameron in terms of his technical ability, in terms of how he directs his movies, and pushing the envelope, because that's what you thought I meant. I'm talking about the club of, we're in the top 10 biggest grossers ever made here. That club. And Warner Brothers ain't gonna, like, bully him like they have Ben Affleck. You know what I mean? Oh, your last movie made no money. We're unsure with all of these decisions you're making. And Joss Whedon's not going to sign up for a big superhero franchise if you were going to have all these cooks telling him what to do. You know what I mean? He must have clearly said before he signed on, this is what they did to me with that last movie. I don't want any of that bullshit. If you want me, boom. You know what I mean? Fine, I'm interested. It's in the Batman universe. I'll take a Batgirl movie. I never felt that I wanted a Batgirl movie until I heard Joss Whedon was involved. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people actually excited about this thing now. I'm one of them. You know what I mean? And I'm not even the biggest, like, DC person. This is best news, the only trump card they have now at the moment. So we'll have to see what happens out of this. I'm interested to see who the villain is, because obviously it'll be like a Batman villain because it's going to be within that, you know, universe and stuff. But yeah, be very interested to see what they did. I'll be more interested to see which incarnation of Batgirl they do, because now that it's an older Batgirl, I mean, like, we haven't met Barbara Gordon, so we don't know whether she's Oracle yet, whether she's, like, in a wheelchair and stuff, because, like, that's what happens to her character in the comic books and stuff. So, you know, if you play the video games, she's, like, you know, the person telling, like, Bruce Wayne what to do and stuff, because she's the internet person, you know what I mean? So, you know, obviously because Ben Affleck's playing an older Batman, maybe it's Cassandra, whatever her surname is, I don't know. I know there's a second Batgirl, so maybe it's her, I don't know. But I think it'll be very interesting to see what they do. I'm excited about it because of the talent involved now. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Okay. Okay, on to the next story. Dark Tower. Okay, it's been pushed back again by Sony. That doesn't seem to bode well for the development of this film. There's been no trailer yet. And I don't know, that seems a little bit weird. I mean, you got names like Matthew McConaughey and Idris Elba in this film, so it's not that it's got the star power. Do you think there's something wrong at Sony? Do you think there's something wrong with the film?
Well, no one said anything that there's anything wrong with the film yet. Maybe they're just looking at it and just like taking a step back and giving it more time to breathe. I mean, like, you know, there's been no reports that there's been any kind of confusion or, you know what I mean, that there's actually something wrong with it. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't think that just yet. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they're just like, when was it supposed to be? The summer?
I think it was July or June.
Maybe it's a scheduling thing, because it's a chock-a-block summer, and this is a brand new IP, you know what I mean, going up against everything. You know what I mean? If it was a summer film, what's it coming up against in the summer? Like Spider-Man Homecoming, you got, which is like potentially $1 billion movie. You know what I mean? Like, if you're opening like a brand new movie, which is a brand new IP, you don't open it then. You know what I mean? 6 months back, the only thing you got to worry about is Star Wars, and chances are they're not that dumb to put it out when that comes out, so they'll probably put it like the month before. You know what I mean? Where there's not really something giant in that slate to go up against, so you know what I mean? And even if there is, maybe they can slot it against counter-programming, you know?
Right, okay, I think it was coming up against Dunkirk and War for the Planet of the Apes.
Well, there you go, and Dunkirk is going to kill it, regardless, because of the name of the director, and then War of the Planet of the Apes, now that's a franchise that, although hasn't been, like, major in terms of money and stuff, it's a growing franchise. You know what I mean? Like the first one made bank, second one made more bank. You know what I mean? And they're aware of that. You know what I mean? They're not going to chance that. Do you know what I mean? And it's not, you can't say counter-programming there, because, you know, one's already counter-programming to Dunkirk, and the other one, you know what I mean, is in the similar ballpark. You know what I mean? It's not the wisest of moves there. And if Spider-Man's out still, then, you know what I mean, they would be, that's suicide.
Yeah.
So it could be just like they're looking for a release date and when to slot the movie, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because that would make sense, to be honest. And plus, Spider-Man's themselves, they're not going to compete against themselves.
Yeah.
You know, it's Sony, so, you know, even though it's a Marvel Studio film, you know, that is suicide. So.
Yeah, I guess so. But I in my knowledge of films being put back, it's never a good sign.
Well, no, I mean, like, Man of Steel was put back a whole year.
Yeah, look what happened to that.
No, Man of Steel did well.
Yeah, I know
you don't like the movie, but I mean, like, Man of Steel did well to do that. It made bank. It, you know, it got the people in, got the people excited that were excited about it. So, you know, it did well to do that. Had it have gone out the year before, I think it was Avengers year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
That wouldn't have been a good move. That would never have been a good move.
I guess not, but yeah, I don't. I mean, look at was the film that was... Yeah, so Alien Covenant was pushed forward twice.
Yeah.
It went from November to August, now to May. And that shows, hey, our film's good.
Yeah.
To put it slap bang at the start of the summer, that's faith.
That's confidence.
Yeah. That's like,
but,
look at my balls.
But at the same time...
Confidence.
This is the difference. Sony can't afford to do that.
Especially if the film's mediocre. If the film's mediocre, then I can understand why they've pushed this back. If it's not, then I think it's strategic, as you said.
Yeah.
But but I mean, and I guess Alien is a bigger name than Dark Tower is at the moment.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So but it's again, anything being pushed back never inspires confidence, especially in me anyway. Okay, on to the next topic, and that is Akira. Well, I guess namely the Warner Brothers trying to make this film. So the guy who made Get Out, Peele, what is his name? Peele?
Jordan Peele
is I always know him as just Key and Peele, but the guy who made Get Out, he is up for the reins of director of Akira. I don't understand the fit with that, but my problem with them trying to adapt Akira is always been the budget, and this is one of the films that, if I was going to say that needs a big budget, if you don't have a big budget for this film, I don't think you can do it justice, especially with the set piece it has at the end. And at one point they wanted to split this into 3 films, which I can sort of understand considering the original graphic novel or manga is pretty big. It's Dark Tower big, so if that's anything to go by, I don't know the fit between the director and Warner Brothers wanting him to direct this. Maybe it's because he can work with small budgets. That's the only thing I can think of at the moment, because I don't know him as being a big Akira fan. But I'm guessing they want to make the budget as small as possible with this. But considering what's happening with Ghost in the Shell right now, I'm not sure if this is even going to be on the slate next week. So who knows? Sach?
This scares me. This really does. I mean, like, it could be a budget thing, you know. I don't know how well... Like, I like him as a director. I like him as a comedian more. But, I mean, depends how well versed he is in terms of Akira. I mean, like, look, personally, I didn't think Robert White did a bad job with Ghost in the Shell. Aesthetically. You know what I mean?
White?
Is it Rupert...
Oh, Rupert Saunders.
Rupert Saunders. Why did I say Robert White?
I have no idea.
Anyway, Rupert Saunders. Who's Robert White? Rupert Saunders. Like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I know Jordan Peele, but, like, you know, if he's a big fan, yeah, give him a shot. You know what I mean? But, you know, at the moment, I haven't seen anything that he's done that make me go that he's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, like you said, like, Ghost in the Shell underperformed badly this weekend.
In America, anyway.
Well, in America, yeah. But we don't know the worldwide figures. I mean, it made 7 million.
Mm-hmm.
Or 700 million. If it was 700 million, they'd be happy. But 7 million
Was that
domestically.
Was that the Friday, or was that the whole weekend?
That's the whole weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's bombed then?
Huh?
It's bombed?
Yeah, it's bombed.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it's bombed. So, yeah. They're not going to make this then.
They're not going to make Akira. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So,
I don't see it happening personally. I think it's almost a dumb deal, unless, like, you know, we'll have to see how much it made worldwide. Maybe the figures have changed now, but when I checked earlier, it wasn't looking that good, man. But I don't know, man.
Yeah. Again, I don't know why they want. I think it's because he can work with small budgets.
Yeah.
But the hell knows. I don't know. It's it's kind of a mystery. But if what's happened to Ghost in the Shell is that, then yeah, I mean, adapting those Akira's is more difficult to adapt than Ghost in the Shell is.
Okay,
So,
it's come in now. It's more than 7. Today, overall, it's 19 million domestically.
that's still bad.
Worldwide, it's 60 million, more or less.
Okay.
So.
Oh, that changes everything.
So yeah, okay, it's not the bomb I thought it was. But this,
Domestically, it's a bomb.
Yeah.
But worldwide, it's
But that doesn't greenlight Akira straight away.
Well, it really depends how much the production budget was on this,
Yeah.
and that's going to determine whether Warner Brothers will want to invest in doing that with such a complicated
Well, this was a
IP.
$110 million movie, Ghost in the Shell.
I mean, if it can do over that next week, which looks doubtful, maybe, who knows? Then maybe, but again, I think Akira needs a budget of at least 150.
Yeah.
If they're splitting it into 3 films, then I don't know. But if they're just doing the one film, yeah, 110 is not going to do it.
Yeah.
But again, there's so many more problems with Akira. They can't get away with the Scarlett Johansson thing that they did with Ghost in the Shell because I mean, I don't want to go over it again, but her character's ambiguous. She can look like what she wants. But with Akira, it's a definitively Japanese story. So that's like trying to make Grave of the Fireflies in America. It's just not going to happen. I think something that's easier to do is Cowboy Bebop, because again, that's you're dealing with a space fantasy.
Yeah.
So people can look who they want in that, and it's very Western anyway.
Yeah.
So I think Warner Brothers has that as well. I think Warner Brothers should make Cowboy Bebop before they even think about doing
Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves and Spike Spiegel.
Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
floating around before.
If they wanted to get a white guy, I actually think Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody. Who's Adrian Brody again? Really?
Yeah.
I don't even know how that works, but fair enough. if you see it, I don't.
I see it.
What was he in again?
The Pianist.
No way!
Predators.
Fuck you, man! No way!
Predators.
Spike Spiegel. Spike Spiegel.
Predators.
As Spike Spiegel.
Yeah, Spike Spiegel. He's an actor. Tell him to act.
No way. No.
If he did it like his role in Predators, where he's got that voice.
I think you're better with Keanu Reeves because he has that silent element, and he can do martial arts.
Yeah,
very well.
True.
And he has that quiet sensibility about him as well. He'll play it better than Adrian Brody would.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Wow. You might as well cast me as Spike Spiegel then.
Why not, Joe? We'll get. That'll be another controversy over like the race casting with anime.
So okay,
no.
So Spike Spiegel, what race is he? Sorry, I say race. Where is he from?
Where's he from? Earth, man.
Okay, so.
But no one knows where.
I can be Spike Spiegel then.
Yes, you can, Joe. Yes, you can.
But yeah, he's not. Spike Spiegel's not Japanese. He's anything. He's probably Jewish, considering his name.
Yeah,
Spiegel.
hence Adrian Brody.
Sure, but again, that's a mass. You're generalizing. He could be anyone.
Yeah.
But as an actor, Keanu Reeves would suit him more than Adrian Brody.
There was a detective film which made me think Hollywoodland. His
I've not seen
detective
that.
character in Hollywoodland, and the reason why I said Predators because he's got that voice. But Hollywoodland, that would be the Spike Spiegel I wanted.
I can't comment on that because I've not seen Hollywoodland, so I'll just have to take your word for it.
Yeah, you do that, Joe.
Okay, on to Spider-Man. On to Spider-Man.
Just wanted to drink water.
So it looks like Sony are being Sony, and it looks like they want. This is not official, but they want. Spider-Man may go back to just being Sony's property, and they'll take it out of the MCU. It won't be a part of the MCU after the sequel to Spider-Man: Homecoming, which I think is, if that is the case, it's a mistake. I don't have anything more to say to that other than that. Yeah, it's wrong, Sony. Wrong. As well as your Venom standalone. Wrong. But people seem excited about the Venom thing. I think. I don't know why. I just see them making the same mistakes that DC are making right now. But Spider-Man: Homecoming hasn't even come out yet, and they're already talking about having him back. People still remember that last Spider-Man film, so I think it's I can't see where they're coming with. I don't understand the logic in them even thinking in this manner. It's not set in stone. They could have another deal with Marvel saying that, okay, well, the last two films went so well, we'll make another deal with you, and I don't know what's going to happen. It sounds stupid to me. Satch, what do you think?
Well, this is no news. The deal was set that he was going to have for 2 films and 1 cameo. That's the original deal. Obviously, they've amended the deal because of his role and appearance in Infinity War 1 and 2. So they've already amended the deal that they initially said that they would do. So in terms of him not being in a movie after that deal, that was always the case from the very beginning. This confirmation was by Amy Pascal, who openly said, we may never see this happen again, this kind of deal happen again kind of thing. And that kind of made everyone get all scared. Now, here's the thing, alright? This initial deal was done after the Sony hacks and when she moved from Grace from being the studio head to just a normal producer and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It was made under her. You know what I mean? This Spider-Man deal. We've now got Tom Rothman in charge, so whatever Tom wants to do now after those films, hands of the gods, I guess. But the thing is, money talks. Mm-hmm. If it's $1 billion movie, which Marvel tend to make, and I do use that word, $1 billion movie, because it has to be $1 billion movie, alright? Then we can see changes to this deal extending it quite easily. You know what I mean?
So you think this next film will be $1 billion film?
Well, I think it's got potential to be. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it will be. I'm saying
that's a very high bar to
that is,
to
but
hit.
You got to understand.
And James Cameron started that
bar
like
you got
15, 20 years.
All the Marvel films are $1 billion films now. All their sequels have been. I know this is the first under the Spider-Man banner, but that's why they introduced him in Civil War first, to get the core comic book, to get the core fan base, to get where it's at. Look at the marketing. They're establishing that this is this Spider-Man, the MCU Spider-Man, if you know what I mean. Everyone that's already on board for Infinity War, I wanna see this movie now. You know what I mean?
Okay, here's a hypothetical for you.
Yeah.
Let's say it makes 900 million.
That's okay. If it made 900 million, that's still good, because that's automatically the highest grossing Spider-Man movie ever made.
Sure. But it's not $1 billion.
Yeah.
And so Sony could go, that didn't happen.
Yeah,
and still pull it.
True. But then that's why they've got that deal for the sequel. That's their second chance. If they see growth in the profits, then, do you know what I mean? Quite simply, they'll stick around. If they don't see growth in the profits, then that might make them do something stupid. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that they won't, but I can confidently say it's an MCU film. It's Spider-Man in an MCU film. It's gonna meet expectation.
Okay.
It has to. But at the same time, you got to understand this, guys. What does Marvel have to lose?
Not much.
Exactly, they don't. Sony needs Spider-Man to work. We already did it their way. You know what I mean? Twice. You know what I mean? Not the way Sam Raimi did it. Sam Raimi made his movie. You know what I mean? But Sony did it twice. They failed. Okay? Now, I don't know, man. They need Marvel more than Marvel needs them.
Yeah.
That's the boat we're in. And Sony at the moment are clutching at straws with their properties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, the Venom movie and stuff, yeah, that might not be... Okay, their big plan during Spider-Man 2 was like they wanted a Spider-Man extended universe. And that's fine. Give that to me. But make that part of the MCU. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't know. But this is one of those ones we'll have to see.
Yeah.
You know, it's a wait and see scenario thing. Maybe she was talking out of context. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's a jump start they need. But put it this way, this movie makes $1 billion at the box office.
Maybe Amy Pascal's just stupid.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, if this movie does make $1 billion at the box office, expect them to extend that contract. And Feige's already talked about what he'd like to do with Spider-Man and make it like the superhero Harry Potter, where each year is a year at high school.
Yeah.
And
that's what you were saying a long time ago.
Dude, I said that when Sam Raimi was making the movies. Okay? I said that from day one as a lifelong Spider-Man fan. So I want this movie to do well. I want that Harry Potter thing where we get a Spider-Man movie once a year or like twice, you know what I mean? Because I just want to go through all the villains, and once you go through all the villains, you do all the major story arcs properly. You know what I mean? Like properly. I thought that what they were going to do before with the Raimi ones, or that's what he wanted to do, because he wanted to do a Sinister Six movie, and not the way Sony wanted to do it. He wanted to do it properly. Go through each villain, and then Sinister Six, all of them after him. You know what I mean? And that works because you're building it up slowly. You know what I mean? These guys want to do a fucking DC and blow their load in one barrel. You know, and we know that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
that really doesn't work.
Yeah. To be quite honest, let these movies not be connected to the MCU, because when they fail, they'll shut up. And we'll still get our MCU versions.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's a chance of polluting the character, like the Terminator's polluted now.
Yeah, I mean, you are right there. But then, how much do we know about Infinity War? Because does he get the black suit in Infinity War? Because if he gets that, then that's set up before Venom.
Yeah, but it won't stop Sony from doing their own thing.
Yeah, true.
It's Sony, just from what I know about that, the film division of Sony is that, it doesn't matter, we're doing this.
Yeah.
it's.
We'll have to see. It's early days.
Alright, well, that's the end of the news, and we go on to the film's opening this week in the UK. And it's quite weird list this week. We've got, I mean, there's a lot of films coming out, but I'll start with the most controversial. I Am Not Your Negro is coming out, The Baby Boss, and Aftermath. I Am Not Your Negro talks about the progression of civil rights in America, and how a certain minority were really ostracized and put down for the longest time, even now. So it's still quite a problem in America. I say this is more of an American problem than it is a British one, and I don't know how black people are perceived in Europe, but I know how they're perceived in India and then in lots of countries towards the east. It's a mixed bag, man. And if America is still having these problems, I can't imagine what it's like for black people in the rest of the world. And so, this goes into pretty deep issues with segregation and I mean, just due to the politics that we just had the world had a black president, and now we've got Donald Trump. There's a very stark comparison, and this film has come at a very unique point of time, especially just in my timeline anyway, of being on this planet and seeing what I've seen and lived what I've lived through. And I can't say I've lived through anything bad, but I've had my fair share of racism. But none as bad as my mum had, or any members of my family that came up, lived here during the 60s. But in America, I think it was twofold. People hanged on trees and burned alive, and it's pretty tragic. So again, this is it's a pretty hard-hitting documentary, and I guess they've released it at this time. I thought this would come out sometime around January, but they've released it in April, or in this country anyway. So that's something to see if you want to see something heavily, I say heavily political. I don't know how much politics are in it, but yeah, it's heavy. It's a heavy subject, nevertheless. And Baby Boss, I'm not even gonna really go on. Really, it has Alec Baldwin and Steve Buscemi in it, and so it's a 3D animated film. Yeah, it's not had the best reviews. So
I saw the trailer to that, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not great. But yeah, I guess it's coming out. Is it half term?
Yeah, half term.
Oh, okay. So half term's out, so hence why this film's
coming. Easter holidays.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Easter holidays even. Yeah, there's Aftermath, which is a true story about air traffic controller who kind of he's absent-minded at some point, and two planes crash into each other, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's he plays a character he plays a real life person that who's lost family in this accident, and he goes to track down the traffic controller that did it. So he's playing the Terminator, sort of.
What are you looking at?
Out of all the films, I would say, if you want the kind of entertainment that I think you would want out of the films that I've mentioned, I would say Aftermath would be the one to go for. But if you've got kids, I say The Baby Boss. I definitely say don't take your kids to see Not Your Negro, because that's something else entirely. Sach, films on the list. What do you think of them?
Aftermath, man.
Yeah.
I'm representing Arnold.
Yeah.
Get to the cinema, go see my movie. I want to be in Expendables 5.
The very point that I've not seen any marketing for Aftermath is a little bit worrying.
Yeah, I mean, like, it is quite a low budget picture here. you know, you know what? I'm glad that Arnold's doing these kind of films because Maggie was fantastic.
Yeah, I've seen that now.
It's just a shame they're not getting as much recognition as they should be. Mainly because I guess he's just not the movie star he used to be anymore. Unless if it was an action picture, they'd be pimping this out a bit more, trying to capitalise on that nostalgia. But you know, I just want to see Arnold Schwarzenegger up there as a name again. I know we're probably not going to get that this day and age, but one thing I know is he is actually trying to aspire to get back there again. So, you know, maybe we'll see it soon, but it depends on what projects he picks and stuff. Personally, I think he should do a superhero movie.
No, I don't.
I think he should be in one of these Marvel ones just to get his name out there for the
He's already done that, and look what happened to that film.
Yeah, but that was a different time, under a different regime. But there's one thing he should learn from that level. Don't side with Warner Brothers. So, you know.
Yeah, well... again, it's a... This week isn't the time for great releases, so I don't know. If any of these films intrigue you, then yeah, they'll be at your local multiplex from this week, which would be the first week of April. These films come out on the 7th of April, so go to it, folks. And with that brings us to the end of this podcast. Thank you, Sach. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Sashman3 on Twitter, or check my short films on Sacha Allari on YouTube.
Okay, and you can find this podcast on YouTube also. Just put in Zedos Gang and you'll find a whole list of videos. There's other things on the page if you want to look at them. And you can find there's a website as well in the name of Zedos Gang, which is www.zedosgang.co.uk. And there's a Twitter page as well, which is Zedos Gang, @Zedos Gang. And you can write into the podcast at podcast@zedosgang.co.uk. And I think that's it. No, there's more. If you want to listen to this podcast, it's on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and what's the other one? SoundCloud. So yeah, on SoundCloud, you can leave a comment or rate it. On iTunes, please definitely rate it. And on the YouTube, just like and share and subscribe, please. That'd be great. And thank you, folks, for listening. This has been the Zedos Gang podcast, and we're out.